Hi, everyone. Thank you for signing into our presentation on walnuts today. It's almost 1 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few more minutes. Okay, it is 1 o'clock, so if anyone's still signing on, we'll just let them go ahead and get on, but we're going to get started. So my name is Alyssa Hrobat, and I am a dietetic intern. My program is through U Chicago Medicine Ingalls Memorial Hospital, and I am working with Avalon Mustafa, who's a registered dietitian here at Three Crowns Park, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So today's presentation is on walnuts, a very important superfood. All right. So first, we're going to go ahead and get started with the history of walnuts. Walnuts actually date back to 700 BC, and they are the oldest tree food known to man. So walnuts actually originated in Persia, and they were kind of recognized as a food for royalty. So they were really highly sought after, and they were traded on the silk trade route between Asia and the Middle East. And as you may know, walnuts have that really tough outer coating, which made them perfect because to kind of go along the trade route, because that tough outer coating protected the quality of the walnut. Today, while some walnuts are still grown in Persia, they are mostly grown right here in the US. They're mainly grown in the Central Valley area of California. And California actually produces 100% of US walnuts and 75% of the world's walnuts. So we really do produce a lot of walnuts over in California. And on the right, that's a picture of a walnut tree. So, as many of you may know, walnuts are actually very high in healthy fats. So I wanted to talk just kind of a little bit about fats. So fat has been a really hot topic in nutrition recently. You may have even heard of the keto diet, or you may have heard about healthy fats. So researchers have found that not all fats are bad for your heart, and actually some fats are really protective for your heart. So there's certain fats we want to avoid or limit in our diet, and there's some that we want to emphasize. So trans fats and saturated fats have been linked to an increase in inflammation in the body, which can lead to an increased risk for things like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. These fats may negatively impact your cholesterol levels. So those pesky cholesterol levels that seem to kind of always be elevated. Sometimes the culprit can be trans fats and saturated fats, so these should be limited in the diet. Trans fats are found in a lot of our packaged foods, like packaged cookies, crackers, and chips, things that you'll kind of find on the shelves in the grocery store. Whereas saturated fats are the fats that are often found in like full fat dairy products like whole milk, or even things like red meats, those fatty cuts of meat. Now, those are the ones they want to limit, but there's those healthy fats too, and these are unsaturated fats. So these are the heart healthy fats, and they actually are protective for your health and can reduce that inflammation in your body. So when we reduce the inflammation, we also reduce the risk of getting those things we just talked about, like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. So we really want to increase these unsaturated fats in the diet, as they're really powerful molecules that act like medicine. So if you've ever heard of food as medicine, sometimes people are talking about unsaturated fats. Things that have unsaturated fat include things like salmon or other fatty fish, things like avocados, olive oil, avocado oil, and nuts and seeds, all the good things like that. So walnuts have those healthy fats, like the unsaturated. Walnuts have alpha linoleic acid, and this is a type of omega-3 fatty acid. Oftentimes, omega-3 fatty acids are associated with salmon. And omega-3 fatty acids are these healthy unsaturated fats. So these protect your heart and reduce inflammation in the body. And once again, can be preventative against different kinds of diseases and are really healthy for our cells. So we want to eat walnuts because they're high in those alpha linoleic acids, and other foods that are high in alpha linolenic acids include things like flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, soybeans, so things like edamame and tofu. You also may have heard of antioxidants, and walnuts are really high in antioxidants as well. Antioxidants are powerful chemicals found in many different foods, and these help protect your cell from disease. Now, I've mentioned the word inflammation a lot, but antioxidants bind to different chemicals in the body called free radicals, which reduces the inflammation. So once again, inflammation contributes to those diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer, and diabetes. So increasing antioxidants can help prevent those diseases. Many people think of those dark colored berries that are pictured on this slide to be high in antioxidants, but they're also found in other dark colored fruits and vegetables like spinach and bright colored cabbage, but they're also found in nuts like walnuts, seeds like chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, pistachios, and then in even dark chocolate. So dark chocolate can even be healthy and protect against some diseases too. So walnuts as a part of a plant-based diet. You may have heard of vegan diets or vegetarian diets, and while those are kind of extreme categories of plant-based diet, a plant-based diet in general is just a diet that includes a lot of plant foods, and it can be really healthy for us. So a plant-based diet means that most of the foods you eat are plants, so things like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and soy. But it doesn't mean you have to eliminate things like eggs, dairy, cheese, and lean meats. They're just eaten in a smaller quantity when compared to fruits, vegetables, and things like that. For example, if you were following a plant-based diet, your plate would be about half vegetables, 1/4 of meat or another protein food like eggs or cheese, and 1/4 of a starchy food like bread, rice, pasta. So by kind of cutting down on the portions of breads and rices and pasta, you increase your intake of fruits and vegetables, which one increases those antioxidants, and it also can increase your fiber intake, which can be helpful for your kind of your gut health, so your digestion. So that's why a plant-based diet has kind of been so popular recently, because it really does have a lot of health benefits. I did want to mention, though, you may have heard of kind of some skeptics of the plant-based diet, because people worry that the diet may not have enough protein. But actually, walnuts are the perfect addition to a plant-based diet because walnuts have a higher amount of protein compared to fruits and vegetables. So even if you are increasing your plants, as long as you're having things like nuts, seeds, and a little bit of meat or dairy here and there, you're still going to make sure to get enough protein in your diet. So there's a lot of different cool ways you can include walnuts in your diet, and I really encourage you to get creative with your meals and snacks because you can use them in creative ways that you might not think of. So first, you can just toss some walnuts on your salad and add a nice crunchy texture to your salad and a nice flavor too. If you were making a smoothie, you could just throw a handful in there, and that's an easy way to kind of increase the protein and the healthy fats. You can just eat them plain as a snack. A lot of people like to roast them in the oven, and then they get a nice roasted flavor, so that can kind of spice it up for you a little bit. You can also just put it on top of your oatmeal or yogurt in the morning. And also you could crush walnuts and use as a coating on chicken or fish. So crushing up the walnuts and maybe mixing them if you were using breadcrumbs or something, and it adds a nice crunch and can kind of up the nutrient content of your meal. So I included a little recipe here for you, and this was obtained from just walnuts.org. And I chose this recipe because if you were living in like independent living or assisted living and you just have a little kitchenette, you could still make this recipe. But if you were cooking elsewhere, walnuts.org has a ton of different recipes and really unique ones too. So I definitely encourage you to check out walnuts.org. But this recipe is just called blueberry and walnut snack mix. So the ingredients are fresh blueberries, walnuts, air popped popcorn, pumpkin seeds, and dark chocolate chips. So it's very easy. You just combine all these ingredients together and stir to combine, and you can enjoy your little snack mix. But one little tip I have here is if you're planning to store the trail mix, you can layer the pumpkin seeds and the dark chocolate chips, followed by the blueberries and walnuts. But you can put a piece of parchment paper on top of that mixture and add the popcorn on top of the parchment paper just so that it doesn't get so soggy. So I wanted to thank you for listening. And if anyone wants, if you're on your computers and you wanted to type a question in the chat, I'd love to answer that question for you. But that's kind of all I have. And if you want to learn more, you can head to walnuts.org. That's where I got a lot of my information, and there's a lot more that you can read about. All right, it doesn't look like anything's coming in on the chat. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a good rest of your day.